many days. So last time I knitted was 8th of January. Today is 12th. Had some stuff in the morning, so I didn't actually even plan to knit today. But I did everything, and my husband is working late. So then I thought, all right, I do have a time, to knit like about half a row. So, and it's, better for me to knit for shorter times. Not even the knitting part, but the sitting part in this position as I am. So it's, sometimes even better to have those short lives, because I could knit for definitely more hours a day, even right now with my condition, but not in this stiff position. In this, yeah, and it's more difficult to take a break right now since I'm live and restricted a bit in my movement, but here I am. It is fun time for the 11th row. So as you can see, today I am doing row 11, and row 11, let me use this, means this. So I'm finally, although I do have a pattern already, but now I have like a pattern, so it's not like just this like I've been knitting that only yarn overs and 3 stitches together, but now I also get this. This is the motif of from my shawl, reversed cat paw shawl. I think it was pattern number 22 for me. Yeah, and usually my pattern rows take me less, so I am hoping that I will be able to knit half of a row, but who knows. But yeah, so this will be the fun stuff today, and only in 6 rows, because purl row also I will have done up. This is something that I have been waiting for a very long time. And considering that every row is like 4 hours or like 3 something hours, I have to wait really long time to get to this, and this will take a bit more time, but more on the purl side. I don't know why, but purl rows take me longer. I did ask some knitters who also knit lace, and not like personally, but I commented that purl rows are taking me longer. Am I the only one? And actually many said that they have the same thing. So as you can see, this is purl row, this is pattern row, this is purl row. So and yeah, they have the same thing. So it's really interesting that pattern row, which usually you have to like keep an eye on the pattern, you don't screw up anything or whatever, and with purl row you just go, especially with the knops. But yeah, it takes me and this is significant difference, I would say. So like 5, 10, whatever, 15 minutes is not a lot, but it is significant, as you can see. And here it's a bit more difficult to show because I don't have the numbers are by by date, so it's not like I have also them written, but this would be, but no, yeah, but it's still less than 4, but not a lot, so it really depends. And this is definitely more than 4. Yeah, so yeah, um so this will be some fun, although of course I'm waiting for that. This will be, and there will be one row that will be really important, because there's like motifs. With edge lace it's more easy, but there, I don't know how many stitches are between the motifs, so one row will be very important. And just to uh, get it started. After that it's easy again. So it's always with those first rows where you have to count out, and only when you get to the middle and the uh, last stitches, okay, now everything is done correctly. And this will usually take me more time, but I don't know how many knitting rows I had there. It's so far away, so I don't think I might not even get there in this month, so probably next month anyway, and who knows. So I'm just concentrating on getting right now to the snaps, and we'll see how it goes. All right, so let me, so 12th of January and 15 and 50. So quite late today, but yeah, as I said, I was not planning on knitting today because I did have an appointment in the morning, and so I'm just using this extra time simply because my husband is working late, and I'm like, okay, so I almost have like not the 2 hours anymore, 1.5 or something I should have. So I will just use this time, because I did try to I tried to take a nap. It did not work out. Could not fall asleep, and then it was already time to walk the dog. And then I'm trying to figure out if this will bother me or not. I do have band-aid in case it's bothering me. So yeah, I walked the dog, fed the dog, washed the dishes and stuff, and I had the time, so I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna knit today. And here I am. So I did make the first one already, so but on the needle it's difficult to see. Yeah, my last live, and it was not even the exact. I think I have to put it. I think it's a bit. I feel the scratching, and it's not healed totally. Last live, it was not exciting row, of course. It was row 10, which is not exciting, but I did manage to do it in one live, which is nice. And during the live I was like, oh, it would be no, I was just wondering that usually my lives are like between something less than 10,000, between 14,000 views, and I was wondering, like, maybe someday soon I will get like 20,000+. Yeah, and it happened that same day. And of course I still have viewer limit count, whatever. So since I don't have still like a lot of followers, I have significantly more than I used to have, obviously. But still not, 500 or 1,000. I think with 1,000 I will get less restrictions. So yeah, I have this, but the restrictions seems to move up. So at first I even had the restriction notice at like 100 viewers that were, at the same time, and now it's way more. So I have no idea what is the number, but yeah, but it was really awesome, because 2 lives that I did previous days, so I did on January 6, 7 and 8, all were around the same time. So earlier in the morning, because usually previously I did like afternoon live videos, and now I try to get it done in the morning. And of course I know that from my country, normal people work. So unless you have some kind of different kind of schedule, most people will work. But I have a lot of international viewers, so it's what for me it might be morning, for others it might be even evening, basically. But first 2 days it was, the views were lower, and that's not even, I'm not discouraged by it. Every view is awesome. It's not like I have to get the number bigger and bigger and bigger. It's not that important, because it's really long project. So at the end of the day, it's like when I finish, I will have who knows how many millions of views anyway. And even that is not that important. I didn't think I will get a lot of views, because it's most of the time I'm quiet. Right now I don't know why I'm talking, but yeah, I'm talking. So it's most of the time I'm not even saying anything. Sometimes I will talk, now I talk, but not always. So it's like, in those quiet moments, it's like I'm knitting, not even anything exciting. Most of it is like just okay, right now it's a bit more exciting for me, but I would still say it's not this exciting. There will be more exciting parts to view, so even that the people even are interested enough to open the live and actually watch it, and some people ask questions about this project or anything and stuff. So it's like, wow. It's but I do think that on some other platforms I would not get this many viewers, so I think the YouTube was really good choice for that. So yeah, here I am, knitting and knitting. I don't know if I have anything else to say. Do think I should probably at some point make some other videos as well. I'm still taking the, I have to not push myself, but I'm like, what is it? yeah, I kind of have to push myself to open my old laptop for the video editor that I cannot get on this new one because of the Windows is new and it doesn't have that option anymore. They need to edit a video on blocking show, how to block a show, and I really hope that it turned out nice because it's been a while since I filmed it, and I do hope that I made everything that is that will work. But I still haven't watched them to edit the video because I was filming from different angles and stuff. So then you do know that I would need to do also other stuff, not just these live videos. I do want to show how something is done and so on. So how to videos. Yeah, it's the for me the easiest and the best part is the knitting. So doing the other stuff can be a bit difficult. I have to really push myself. Like now I have to edit the photographs and stuff so I can edit some of my patterns and also prepare new pattern for the time it will be released in a couple of months. But I still could edit everything and put everything together because the pattern uh, putting that making it ready, everything takes time. It's not a 5 minute job, so even choosing a photograph and making the colors right, it takes time. And so and then to prepare the pattern, I have to first of all, because the pattern is like the shawl is triangle, so the shawl the pattern in the Excel is like half of it, and then I have to like cut it in pieces, make the highlight the uh, repeats and how many times, then I have to copy that everything to Photoshop, and stuff like that. And with some shawls I need to add more than just chart this, chart that, so it takes time, although I think the result is quite nice. But yeah, it does take time, and I am also updating my older patterns because I had wanted to do some minor changes, and with some I really dislike the photograph. So if the I can now, I think I can show better the pattern. So as you can see, this is what I'm doing. And with some patterns, yeah, if I chose not the best yarn and not the right color or whatever, also sometimes the blocking, it's like why I did it that way, and then sorry, I don't know why my voice is like it. So yeah, basically um, I think some patterns will be more appreciated if they have a better photographs and stuff. So because it is people choose patterns based on the pictures, and if you see the pictures and like doesn't spark anything, then it's like, of course you know people will not be interested in downloading or buying. So yeah, and I do want, you know, to have everything looking the same. So right now I have like 3 versions of patterns, and so it's like it's time to update them to all to the same version 3.0 basically. So as you can see, it's although I am knitting the pattern, I'm not very I don't I don't concentrate that much on that. I just have to, you know, the only thing I'm keeping an eye on that, you know, that I don't miss the part where is the yarn over, you know, on both sides, so that I don't go over them. But it's not very difficult, and I don't have to, you know, look at the pattern. Basically now, with the first, even with the first row, like I can just look, and but I will have to show you anyway when I'm doing the next live. But you know, I don't actually have to look at it anymore, because I don't have anything going on here. I will have the decreases probably also on the middle part, but it's you know, I know this motif, so I just can, you know, just knit. I don't need to, you know, watch it. And you know, with some patterns it's also that, you know, okay, I will have it for a moment, or at the beginning of the row, because I also have made mistakes, of course. It's, and sometimes it's like the, you know, the bad word, uh, and then I have to, you know, like go back for a few rows because I missed something. It happens, and that's why I usually try to, you know, at the start of the row I check like, oh yeah, okay, everything is like that. And you know, the biggest mistake usually that I make, it's like there's a motif I'm knitting, and then sometimes it's the motifs, you know, kind of like in between motifs there will be next one, and I should start it, but I miss it because I didn't check when it starts. So usually I think those are my mistakes. But I'm making less of those because I do. Oh, okay. I don't have anything new on this row, so I can just, you know, go. So, so yeah. But I know that, you know, people brains work differently, so that's just how mine works. I can just knit like that, and I don't know if I would. Mm, at At certain point, I did have some shawls that I could basically knit from my memory, because I did knit them a few times. But now with, you know, getting older and stuff, I think my brain is letting go of, you know, more stuff. So like the big star, I have knitted it many times. Don't know how many. Mm, I think 4 or 5. You know, a couple of times. So it was kind of, I remembered it, but yeah, not now. Although I think I remember the stitch count. It was 397. But yeah, it's still, it's better to, you know, check. But I do, you know, sometimes like to, you know, I just take the yarn, which is sometimes the most difficult part, you know, choosing the yarn, the color, particularly, but because I don't have like a lot of different types of yarn. Most of my yarn is, you know, this kind of yarn. So this thin thin stuff, although I do still have some Rowan fine lace and a couple of other brands, but yeah, this thin stuff is all basically the same kind of. And so usually, yeah, the color is the thing that I have to think about the most. And they do already have like 2 ideas for the next 2 patterns, and it's mainly the color wise I have the idea. I still don't have any clue what the pattern itself will be. I have it here. So one will be with this, then red and white. I don't. Maybe I will might use those whites. These or go though these will go well with this. And the red is in another bag, and I also have this that I want to use with white. So so yeah, at least I have the idea, and but I just haven't had the moment to I need like how much do I need? 1.5 hours maybe, so I need to cast on. Oh no, then I need more. So I don't remember. Less than half an hour is with this. If I have like 405 is like 20 minutes a row at first. Those first few rows, and then if I have like 463, which will be with those colors, because I feel that I want to make something bigger. I don't want to start over all the time. So adding a little bit stitches will give me more time with that project basically. So then it's like up to half an hour, I think, for the first rows. And I can, and the first the knitters would know that the cast on row is really important. You don't want to have any distractions. And then the first row of the pattern, so this row somewhere here, first 2 are just knitting, and then I don't know if you can hear me, but my boy is making some sounds. He woke up. Boy as in park. But I think he might not be. I don't know if the camera is picking up. Maybe he's drinking, but so basically, yeah, the knitting rows don't take a lot of time, but then you have this first row of pattern. Then you have to again concentrate, and those take time. And I want to make those when I'm alone, and then after that I can yeah, he's really loud. And then I can watch a movie with my husband and just knit away without any problems. But it's better to have those first few rows done before that. Although now with husband working again, previously we also saw at work, now I am at home, he's working, sometimes he's basically gone for 12 hours, so I'm not sure how okay he will be with me knitting. Probably not in the evenings, but maybe on the weekends at least I can knit my my side project, because this is my main project right now. Because yeah, he might say like yo it's fine, but I don't think it's always you know, I have to remind him that he has to be honest with me, because I think sometimes he will say, yeah, okay, with knitting, but maybe it's not always 100% yeah, okay. So I'll have to remind him that we agreed that, you know, even in this kind of thing, I do want to, you know, want him to be honest. Although now I do try to knit as much as possible when he's not here, so maybe I will have to just use those, you know, make a live video in the morning, and after some errands and stuff, then, you know, knit my other project. I don't know. I have a lot to do, and I should be doing this. Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry. So I'm at 500. I should be, you know, doing more work on my computer, but it's been 5 days since I did it last. It's not very exciting, so it's more difficult to get myself to do it. But the first few days I did have a good rhythm that in the morning after I was home alone, you know, I finished my breakfast, but laptop was already with me, so I could, you know, choose the pictures, do some stuff there, finish my drink and stuff, and then set up for the live and make a live video and finish that during or after lunchtime. So usually around 12 or 1 or something. So, and then I would still have some time. So I'll have to see, because I do miss knitting. I'm not knitting nearly enough for my liking, but you know, the reality is that I cannot just knit. I don't have enough of, you know, time and everything to knit live all the time with this project, so it's obvious that I need to have something on the side that I can, even if it's only for like half an hour, I can knit extra. It will be already a nice win. So yeah, have to keep an eye. So husband has still 1 hour left, plus drive, so we'll see how far I get. I think this is a good time as any to mention or remind. I don't know how many of people who watch, you know, have seen more than one live video. More live videos mean probably more of a chance on that, but so I've been publishing patterns. The first one was 2011, I think. It was Catball Shawl. It was knitted in different way. Everything was different back then. And I was really young also. Yeah, not really young, but still young. And then I took some time off, basically, you know, to figure out what is, you know, me in lace knitting, and I experimented with stuff. I did some stuff, and at first I was just selling my shawls on Etsy. I have many shawls in America, and there were a few other countries. I think one was in Australia. I don't remember. It was a while ago, but after a while I started to publish again, and I think it was 2016. And yeah, there was like some patterns. Next year it was more. 2018 I published 52 patterns. Of course, that time I had also some help from 2 knitters, but I was still doing 2 or 3 shawls a month. Now I publish a bit less, but I do, I have so much to do. But in total, based on Ravelry, although I know that a couple of those are also those mystery knit along something. I don't remember the acronym, what is MKAL, but basically, yeah, mystery knit along something. But yeah, my count on Ravelry for patterns is over 100. I think it was 117. So there's few of those knitting alongs that I had on Ravelry. I'm not sure how many. I know there were few. I also published an ebook, Shades of Lace. Basically, kind of story of my life, short version of it. Like, periods of my life and stuff, which were like, so something, 10 patterns in that book with some stories and stuff. But, sometimes I think about, usually the one pattern that I think about is the illusion shawl. She was a really special cut for me. Unfortunately, she's not with us anymore, but that pattern, I sometimes still think how I did this middle, decrease stuff. And I don't know, of course it would be easy for me to look up, but it's like my brain today is like, I don't know if I would be, I would be able to figure it out, especially even if I saw a picture. But it's like, that is something that still amazes me, and it looks really awesome also. Something that is totally different from typical triangle shawl. And so, yeah. And there were others. Also the mother's tulip shawl that is knitted in 2 colors, but it's, not just like stripes of 2 colors, but it's yeah, it's difficult to okay, let me I get too excited, so now I have to show. It's 1622. Let's clock out. 1622. Just hopefully I will remember to clock back in. Let me find it. No, I think I need to go here. Da, 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 da. where is it? Knee. So the tulips. Okay, that's not. I have so many. Sorry, I'm not. I'm not finding them. Yeah, I should. And then let me think which is. I think this is the right one. So I will show from far away. I don't. I should. I don't know. So it will open now. Of course, there's this layer now, but as you can see, this it starts just with the orange. Then this, this is like the middle section, which is, and there are also, the white. I have done this technique before, but yeah, I never published it, and it was not very easy to, write it down, so that someone else would be also able to understand how to knit it. Or maybe this, shows also a little bit. So yeah, this is how this was one of the cool ones. And found the next one, and then I will continue knitting. I think I have to. Yeah, I don't think I will have to be thorough. Yep. Okay, and that's the second one. So usually the middle part is just, knit 3 together, and here I did something like this. And I really think I would be able to figure out how I did it, but I still think about this, how cool it is. And it's difficult to see from the screen because it's like photographing a screen, and this is not very good. Probably, oh no, this is automatic. So this is like light pink because my cat had some really cute pink nose and stuff, and here I have almost, you can almost see, but there's like heart, half is green, half is blue. Blue is not very visible through this screen, although maybe you see it better. I don't see it that well on my screen, but there's like two colors because she had two different color dyes. So this is also something, this is a shawl that I think about even still, although it's been a while since I did it and published it and stuff. So yeah, this is also in my ebook, and there's some other cool stuff also. So yeah, but my point was that let me clock in 1620. Can I cook in Russian? Yeah. Yeah, I can cook, but I don't do it because I don't like it. I prefer, no, I have to put the 27. So yeah, basically I have like a huge collection of patterns and stuff on my Ravelry published. Oh yeah, I was so excited I didn't even finish this knitting together. And yeah, so everything is, available on Ravelry, the ebook, a lot of different patterns, different difficulties. So there are some that, are more for like experienced lace knitters, some are more easy, some have like really a lot of knobs, and some, have only some. And there are also some patterns that are, uh, that are for free. So I think it's like maybe 5 or 6 patterns. Really cool one is my favorite of those are the evergreen trees, which is, like really nice wintry pattern. Although, yeah, the Christmas is gone, but the winter came, so we now also have some snow, and so it's nice. And the second one is the blooming apple tree, which is also, those are like my favorite of those that are available for free in Ravelry. I think I ran out of stuff to say. I still have, I think, yeah, I have like, I would say 45 minutes, and then I should, pack up, and then, I don't know, 15 or 20, whatever minutes husband will be home. So then, I can put everything back where it should be, and stuff. So I think 45 minutes of knitting is will be enough for today. Gonna like 45 minutes more, not in total. And yeah, and then again tomorrow, because I do plan to knit tomorrow, but now it's like I don't know how I will do it, because I will have this unfinished row. So maybe, almost made the yarn over too soon, because I'm not, sometimes I count not to miss this, but sometimes I don't, so it depends. If I'm talking, I'm not counting, obviously. So yeah, if I need today half a row, then I will have to first finish half a row, then start a new life for the next half a row, basically. So I don't know, but I'm not gonna dwell on that. I will just, do as much as I can whenever I can, so that, there is a chance that I will not be still doing this project when I'm retired. And by retirement I don't even mean like, retired on my own, but in the age of retirement, which is like what is it right now? I think it's like 65. I think it's around there. By that time, when I'm getting close to this like governmental retirement, I think they will definitely raise the age, but yeah, it's I see that even if it's like right now working at 60, and if you're when you're young, it's fine to work some kind of physical job like like construction or laying pipes or whatever. So there are a lot of fun, interesting jobs, but when you're after like 50 and stuff, and especially if it's job that has some kind of also like typical health problems that come with it, and and it's physical, it's yeah, you might be the best car mechanic, whatever, but if you're already like more than 50 and you lose your job, good luck. It will be companies don't want to hire you usually. I don't think that's a really big problem. There's like a it's like he or she, because she can also be that, although most likely not in that area. But yeah, someone who has a lot of experience, and usually with people that are from older generation, might have different work ethics. They take their job seriously and everything and stuff, so not addicted to phones and everything. And then it's difficult for them to find a job. Everyone wants young people, but you know uh, they have some issues basically. So I would say that sometimes it's a lot more, let it for a company a lot better to hire someone who might be like 40 or 50 whatever years, but they have experience and they uh, like to work and stuff. They are much better worker than a 20-year-old who or even like 25-year-old who will if the drill battery for the drill runs out, it's empty, and then he will call you like, battery is empty, what do I do now? Yeah, uh, of course there's a couple of things, but it's just basic common sense. It's I think it was previously it was more common, and now it's like, I don't know, probably someone should find a new word for this, but this is because common sense is not common anymore, so I don't know how it should be called. And yeah, things change, people grow, everything changes. It's not easy, but some changes are good, so and yeah. Here I am, I'm still in my 30s, and it's like, because knitting is also something that is, I've been knitting for a long time, so, and also sewing and doing other stuff, but knitting or even also crocheting and stuff, it's more like a grandma activity. And my both grandmas did different kind of crafts because they needed to, My mother did also some uh, briefly for extra money, I think, but not like I am. And so I think it's still often viewed more like an grandma activity. And I know that some people start to knit or crochet when they get kids or when they get grandkids. So I think usually I think with the kids, you have maybe some more time and you want to do something easy uh, while the child naps or something. So I've seen that some people start to do some small projects when they get kids. But I think it's still like more commonly it's like kind of like a grandma activity. And so because you usually now of course I knit more at home, but there were times when I was knitting more in different places, not only at home but also at school. And it was not when I was like 16. Oh no, yeah, I did it also then, but also when I later in life went back to school, I was also knitting during the class, but of course with the permission. And it's like yeah, people need to get used to it first. But I showed that I am still I'm 1,000. I was still participating, and I was still one of the most like active students when we were having some kind of discussion, although I was knitting at the same time, but I was still one of the most active uh, students participating in class. So that was also the reason why I was, and I was sitting in the first row. I don't see very well, and if I'm sitting somewhere in the back I might not hear very well, so I was always front row and stuff. So yeah, they knew I always asked for permission. um, because if I get bored, my hands need something. I know I'm not the only one who needs uh, something to do with hands. And previously I have done different stuff also during when I was still like, I don't know, 14, 15, 16, 17, when I was not totally normal in my I was a teenager, so what can I do? But I was sewing in the class, not all the classes, I was in certain classes. I was making those, I don't know how many of you know, but uh those uh rosettes, I don't even know how they're called, for horse riding, back basically for horse. So what they use for horse when you have some kind of competition and stuff. And they also use those for dogs. And in my when I was still riding horses, then we did have also competitions and stuff. And then those were I think actually those were, yeah, he was buying them. But I also knew how to make them, because I think that most of them that we had at our stable, I think actually they were not handmade, but I don't know, I knew how to make them. So was something that I was making in class, but it was, I think it was mm, I don't think I did it in English, I think it was in Russian. So I was kind of protesting anyway, so I was still sitting in the second row and I was doing that. I was also cross stitching, there was so much that I did in that class. So yeah, but I like to, keep my hands busy and do something with my hands. Mm, it so helps me concentrate a little bit. I think. Oh no, that was. I thought I had. Yeah, no, I have. I have this one in my phone. Oh yeah, the quality is. I thought maybe I have this. Mm, I think it was Simple Things. So it's also like really cool. I don't remember which company yarn. Simple Things, I think, was the pattern name. Yeah, and that was a pattern that I was knitting in my biology class. Don't remember the year, but I finished that school in 2020, so I probably knitted it in, I don't know, maybe 2019 or something. So yeah, every time I see that shawl, I'm like, my favorite biology class. I try to always be there because we always had really interesting discussions, and I am passionate about certain topics that we discussed also there. So yeah, they're fun times. I do like to learn, you know. Um, After that, after I graduated, that it was basically finishing my high school. It took me 100 years because something kept interrupting my studies, basically my choices, usually. But I eventually managed to finish it, the high school, and then I was like, what's next? Because I did like, it's fun to learn, but um, I do sometimes forget that if you're in school, there are certain stuff that you have to do, which I don't like to do. But yeah, I went again to school, but that was a trade school. So I wanted to, sometimes I get some crazy idea and then it's like, I have to do it. So I wanted to build a car, basically. Do some engine work, and by engine work I mean rebuild the engine and then put it on a different car. Yeah, and then I thought, okay, I think this might, if I would go to school, it would be a bit easier. Yeah, but I didn't think. Oh, it was a quite an emotional decision to go to school. I didn't think it through because my previous school was like 2 days a week, morning or evening, but this was basically full time, minus those some classes, and that I already, I could transfer the grades from my school, uh, previous school, basically. So like, this there's some basic stuff, but everything else, everything that was related to car, also like the languages, I already had my English and stuff done, but this was like not just English, but English related to, this profession. So yeah, so there was a lot of, and a lot of work that had to go in, and I had, in those 3 years I had to also finish 800 hours. I think it was around 800 hours of apprenticeship. So there were three, and each was longer. So first was, I don't know, 100 something hours, and then it was next one was longer, and then it was even more longer. And I'm like, oh my god. So I had to do everything, and it's not like I could, because those are unpaid. I just, I could not just do it like my classmates that, we had a certain like time when we could do it. But I cannot just work like 5 weeks straight or 6 weeks, whatever, without, money. So I still had, to work and stuff. So I had to start my apprenticeships a lot earlier, work around my schedule. It was painful, yeah. And I eventually had to move, so I was not able to finish everything. But it was cool. So I definitely don't regret anything. It was a cool experience. Although now, if something has to be done with car, it's for my husband to do. I'm not, um, not that I lost interest, but I want to do this stuff certain way. I really hated when I had to, do something on my own car, and I had, time restraints because I could not leave. I could not abandon her and just go, home and like, yeah, yeah. I really hated that, the pressure. If I can, work on a car, do something interesting, I have all the tools and stuff. Yeah, that's fun. But I don't want to have this, that you have to do it in this amount of time. Otherwise, your car has to stay here and you don't have a car. I don't like that. So, but I do hope that in the future I will have a project car that I can restore, rebuild an engine and, do everything so that it's like basically a new car. But this, will take a long time, also a lot of money and stuff. So right now it's on the back burner, but everyday fixes and stuff, usually my husband does them. We do have some not equipment, but yeah, we do have some tools and stuff. But sometimes this Sunday I also was there with him. So although I'm like more of a sidekick who is, who knows some stuff, I know maybe a bit better, and he's more hands-on. So I'm just, I'm like a supervisor, sidekick supervisor sometimes. So yeah, I'm fine with that. It's not that, I do like it that he's able to, I think it's difficult to, okay, it's not difficult. I know one thing that he doesn't know how to do. I think this is the only thing that he is not able to do, and I think this is going to be the only thing in his life that he will not learn, and this is knitting. So basically he can sew, no problem with some, it will not look, like perfect, but he can, make some repairs or sew back the button or something, and with one jacket. It was mine. I was just too lazy. I admit I can be lazy in some stuff, and he did it for me. Although I'm like the kind of should be my thing, but no. Yeah, but everything else, it's like, okay, I don't like how he washes dishes sometimes. There's some stuff that I like, but they're clean. That's the only thing basically. But that's not even important. But yeah, he's a really talented guy, so he can do anything. And he cooks, and he cleans, and he does everything. So he's really a jackpot. And yeah, I cannot show him. I don't want to brag, but he's really handsome also, for me. So it's so yeah, I got really lucky. Although neither of us, when we started talking, neither of us wanted any relationships and everything, but and we were really open and honest with each other, just joking around and having fun, and yeah, and then we got married basically. So I think one of the, of course it was not always peaches and roses, but the openness and honesty, we didn't pretend, we didn't hide anything. So that is something that made it possible. We were honest, even you can, how you can be honest with other person if you're even not honest with yourself. So you have to really be honest with yourself, what you want, everything. And then there is some chance that you might also be honest uh with your partner, but we have that. So but I think it's also uh I think it was kind of meant to be also, but and also the luck, and it was like the right time and everything. Because if it would have happened at different time, circumstances also play some part in everything. So yeah, yeah, and of course it was not like peaches and roses, like I said at first, but uh because we did have some obvious, at our age we had some previous relationships and baggage and stuff, but we worked on that, and the biggest thing is communication. And now it's like, with every day, every year, it's like I feel it's everything is so much better and better and better. And during the winter break, he had vacation, I was on sick leave basically. We could spend time together more than usual, because usually we had to work. And it was yeah, he annoys me sometimes and everything, but ah he's just so cute, and I just really really like him. I really like that he can make me smile, you know and with him it's, you really, not you, but I really feel that he really likes me. So it's not like mask or pretending or stuff, but he really genuinely likes me. And for of course with him it's for the first time I'm also priority number one. I've never been in relationship or even had a friendship where I've been priority or number one for someone, and he was my first. And at first it was actually quite quite a lot, because I'm not used to that. you know it's seemed too much, but I do really appreciate it more and more with time, because it's a privilege to be most important person for someone. So yeah, here I am again, uh, bragging about my husband. You know, of course my husband doesn't like that, but I do, you know, I read a lot, and some stuff that I read online, it's, you know, it's negative. It's not nothing good. So that's why my husband doesn't like it that much. But I still do it sometimes. So, you know, all those Reddit stuff, and you know, and it's like you read that, and it's like, are there, you know, any couples and married people? It's like most of them seem to, you know, hate each other, or one of them is like hating the other one. It's like, how horrible. It's like your husband or your wife, and it's, you know, you can see a mile away that you hate that person. Basically, it's not even that you don't like it, but it's like you hate that person, and it's so freaking sad. You know, it's like it's your, you know. Oh yeah. So basically, yeah, it only amplifies my you know, how grateful I am to have such a guy that, you know, he really loves me. I really love him. Um, the bicker, yeah, of course, but you know, it's like uh, we communicate. We're really honest with each other and everything. So it's like so nice to have that, you know. And it's sad that, you know, how many people don't have that. But I also did not get it before I was okay. Yeah, of course, I didn't want any relationship, but that was also a reason why, for the reason that I never had a good relationship, because for most of my life, I actually, you know, didn't feel that I deserve a good relationship, a loving partner, and everything. I was not good enough and all that stuff. So that made, you know, and that's why my relationships were abusive in one way or another. But, you know, and then I was like, it's so good to be alone. And I'm like, why uh, give it up? There will be again the same old bullshit, basically, you know. I don't want that. And so I didn't even want a relationship. But then, yeah, came my husband. And he was, you know, on paper he was perfect. And then he showed me that it's also in the reality. Although there were a few things that we had to work on both sides and stuff. But, you know, uh, so yeah. Uh, so I think it's also one part that helped both of us, I think, is, you know, we were not like in search of, and we were not desperate to find someone. We were really content on being alone. And so, you know, we were not trying to fake, you know, be someone else. And I think that also played part in that we were, you know, just true to ourselves. And you know, we are not definitely, you know, like normal people. So we have some funny brains. And you know, I liked what I saw and he liked what he saw, basically. So yeah, yeah, just probably miss. We spent. We had a long weekend because Friday was off, so we were 3 days together. So, and this is the first day that he is away, and I do kind of miss him already. So even when we were working together, uh, you know, it's of course not always easy, because I was in that trade for a bit longer, so we did have sometimes difficulty with communication, mostly on my part. I have also problem with patience, but but yeah, we were working together, and even if we were not doing the same thing, we still, every break we saw each other. And then he had to go to work on other place. He was there, but he was, like, uh, the area of that workplace is really big. So, and he was, yeah, it's like maybe not 10 full minute walk, but still kind of far away. So we definitely could not see each other during the day, only in the morning and evening. And I did miss him. But it's the same right now. So, and here I am, 1500, and I think I have like 12 minutes to go. I think I've been a bit slow today, but it's fine. I think, yeah, I will do 12 minutes, and then so I will have to, put my stuff back after knitting, and then soon my husband will come, so it will be fun. He will be really tired. It's also quite cold outside, so they are working basically outside. So nothing very fun. He would definitely prefer to be home, but yeah, nothing we can do about it now. Hopefully it will be warmer soon. So yeah. It's weird to be now in silence. I've been talking for more than an hour. Although I didn't plan, usually, sometimes sometimes I talk, sometimes I just watch something and, mute, and sometimes I talk. Today I talked all live, although I had prepared something to watch, but yeah, I don't know why I was talking. I sometimes just, you start talking and then it's like, I cannot stop anymore. So yeah, those people who watch live can get some unfiltered rant of something that is on my mind. Because it's, if it's the live video is like 3-4 hours, the reality is that nobody will, actually sit through and watch it after it's, published. Especially since, sometimes, yeah, I do talk, and sometimes it's like, silence. It's not like you can see where I talk and stuff, so it's, yeah, not that kind of life that is, exciting to look back, or you would make a, live stream recap or whatever video, like with some other stuff, with some other topics people might do. This is just knitting, and it's not like I'm talking something about something so important that I would, go back. I don't know if I don't know if I can download those live videos. Probably I can. I haven't checked, but basically, I would have to download it, which would take time because it's a big video. Then cut, edit, to publish some kind of part of it of me blabbing, and I there are certain stuff that I have talked about many times, so, and if someone asks, I will talk about it again anyway, so yeah, I don't think it's worth the time to go back and rewatch and make some short versions of this live stream highlights. Yeah, that's just the reality basically of it. Okay, I have 6 more minutes, and then I will have to finish. It's good. We'll try to maybe stop. I don't know how long it takes me to knit 50 stitches, so I will maybe stop at next one just to be sure. It's better to stop at the stitch marker so then I can show where I stopped more easy. Yeah, so it's not between markers. So I think I can do one more. I'm already here. Let's do one more, and then it's time to finish. So yeah, I will get to the next one, I think. So fun Monday. I've been waiting when I can knit again, because Thursday was the last time I knitted, and then I had 3 days. Oh, well, my husband had 3 days off, so I spent the time with him and did not knit, but I was waiting, when I can, because I planned that I will be knitting on Tuesday, but then the opportunity presented itself and I could knit today, so I'm like, yep, I am doing that, even if it's just like for whatever, I don't know how much it will be, less than an hour, more than an hour, but not like very much, but still. And tomorrow I will finish this row off and I will be closer again to them. So yeah, closer to my naps row. So it's like, what? It's like 1 minute? It takes me 1 minute? Yeah, okay. Oh, okay, I will not push it. So, okay. As you can see, this is the 15. Then it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. and then it's like 4 on this side. So there's with two places I lost one stitch, but here with a stitch marker, but here I have the original count, so it's 9, and so I'm ending at this middle. So let's pull this out, and then I will put it out, and then I will stop the clock. It's not going. Yep. Okay, so I don't lose any stitches. And let me take my, oh, and it's 1713. Okay, so this is done. Yeah, I don't have much to say, I think. So of course, like always, thank you for watching. I will show you again. So this was the new part. So now I'm starting motif here. So yeah, thank you for watching. If you want to see my work, Ravelry has my biggest selection, more than 100 patterns. I use my previously published patterns to make this also. You know, every part will be different pattern from my previous work. Ravelry, I have more than 100 patterns, also ebook, 5 or 6. I have to check how many. Maybe it's 7. I'm always saying 5 or 6. So I have some patterns available completely for free. And yeah, I think, what else can I say? I've been talking for 1.5 hours. So yeah, I really appreciate everyone who is watching, subscribing, commenting, liking, following me on this journey. It's awesome. It's fun for me, at least. Yeah, I don't know, it's nice, you know. I really expected that, you know, I will be doing these live videos, you know, nobody watching. Nobody cares, nobody watches and stuff, and I was totally fine with this, because I thought that, at first you will not get watches. Who will watch you? But it's been absolutely different experience, so it's really awesome that people find me, people follow me, people watch my lives, and support me on this really fun and long journey. So thank you, and until the next time, bye.